Okay, guys, in this video I'm going to go over my top 5 foods that I think you should avoid if you have Crohn's or colitis or IBS or other digestive issues. And my name's Mike the Healer Gut Guy, and I've healed myself of food intolerances and Crohn's, and I've helped many other people do the exact same thing. These so-called incurable diseases are very fixable if you understand the root cause, and most people don't, and that's why it doesn't work. And before I start with these 5 foods you should avoid, I need to let you, because where all these food intolerances start is how we perceive these foods. I remember when I first started the specific carbohydrate diet, where you kind of like eliminate all carbs. It's like a low carb diet. But before I went on that diet, I could tolerate most starches fine. And then after I did that diet, I all of a sudden had this religious belief that all starches are not good for you. And then every time I ate starches after that, I would be thrown into a horrible flare. And the keto, the carnivore, the specific carbohydrate diet, the FODMAPs diet, all these low carb diets, they kind of create these food phobias. And we have like this very zealot-like, crazy, fanatical views on diet nowadays, and it's not serving us. It's hurting us, and it makes it impossible for you to be a normal person and like go out and eat with your friends when you have like these crazy, like legit crazy religious beliefs about these foods. You are not allergic to energy and nutrients. I'm sorry, you're just not. Like, it's absurd to be allergic to energy and nutrients. Saying that you're allergic to a particular food is like saying you're allergic to energy and nutrients, and it's just ridiculous. And I've seen people, who could literally only tolerate 4 foods. They're reacting to water, and they just changed their mindset on these foods. They told their subconscious, because right now their subconscious is like freaked out about these foods, like, oh my god, these foods are so dangerous, blah 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 blah. You have to relax and tell your foods that these foods are okay to eat. But even with that being said, I'm going to share with you some foods that I really do not like people eating, or they need to like kind of change the way that they're eating them, because they can cause harm in the body if you don't understand what they're doing. So if you want to learn more about how to get rid of your food phobias, that's going to be on German New Medicine Tracks, the Tracks video, and I'll have a link to it up in the video cards thing. Just click up there and the list of videos will come down and you'll see the Tracks video. So watch that on how to eliminate your food tracks. It's about having a different conversation with yourself while you're sitting on the toilet with your diarrhea. Instead of blaming food, you need to tell yourself that, I'm not allergic to nutrients and energy, and it might have been the food track, but we also have these emotional tracks as well. And these tracks, once we encounter them, they're going to run the biological special program and rerun the symptoms of diarrhea, blood and pus, and all that fun stuff. So let's get to the foods, because I'm getting off the point. So the first food I think people should avoid is coffee. And why is that? So the reason why I don't like people having coffee is because it's a sympathetic food. It takes you out of rest and digest, and it puts you into fight or flight. And when you're in fight or flight, healing stops, digestion slows down, it suppresses your appetite, and a lot of you are trying to gain weight, and it triggers peristalsis, so it triggers diarrhea. Something that it's a diuretic, so we're trying to avoid that. And there's not much nutrients to it, and you're going to be avoiding nutrients for the rest of the day because your hunger is suppressed. So I really do not like coffee. People can consume coffee and they'll be relatively fine. I still can't consume coffee without diarrhea, and it's because I just fundamentally believe that it's not good for me. And I'm working out and trying to build muscle, And if I have like 1 cup of coffee, like I literally will not eat for like at least half of the day because it suppresses my hunger for at least half of the day. So if you are on coffee, and I understand it's hard to come off of caffeine and coffee, what I would recommend you do is half the dose. So, if you're a 2 cup a day person, start having 1 cup a day. If you're a 1 cup a day person, start having half a cup a day. And when you get to half a cup, have a fourth of a cup. Have like a shot of coffee a day. So that's a good way to come off of coffee, because if you quit caffeine cold turkey, it can be quite miserable. Now, the second food I have is soda. Now, the reason why I have this on, it's just, again, it has caffeine in it, and it just doesn't have any nutrients to it. It's just like straight up sugar. So I'm not a fan of that. It's not going to serve you nutritionally. It's throwing you into fight or flight mode, and it's just gross. It's not classy. Like, it's just gross to drink soda. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, grow up. You do have some healthy alternatives. I mean, you have things like kombucha, which I know has caffeine in it, but it has a lot less caffeine, and there are nutrients, and there's probiotics in it. You can do fruit juices, like you have, which has nutrients in it. Like, there's so many good alternatives to just soda. I don't know. It's just blah. And yeah, so it's not going to serve you nutritionally. It's going to have the caffeine in it, and you have better options today. So I do not recommend soda, and it's just gross. Now, the third one is whole starches. And let me explain this better. Now, I'm not saying whole starches are bad. I'm just saying people tend to get in trouble with whole starches when they first start trying to eat healthy, because, so you have, so let's say you have white rice and you have brown rice. Most people, when they first start eating brown rice, they cook it like they would white rice, and it's going to taste horrible, and it's going to be really hard to digest. Brown rice needs to be cooked for a super long time, so it's nice and soft and easy to digest and taste better. White rice you can cook in like 10-15 minutes. Boom, just like that. Brown rice is going to take like an hour to cook, unless you're doing it in the pressure cooker and you soak and you sprout it overnight. So when a lot of people first start trying to eat healthy, they go immediately for the whole starches, and like instantly their stomach starts to feel heavy. It doesn't taste good. I mean, whole starches are very nutritious for you if they are prepared correctly. So another food that gets a bad rap, which is a very healthy food, are legumes, beans. The reason why they have the most anti-nutrients or preservatives is because they have the most nutrients in them. And if you look at old recipes for beans, they have long cooking hours. It takes like 8 hours to cook like certain types of beans. And if you look at how like companies that produce like canned beans and stuff like that, or companies that have to produce a lot of beans, they have a very scientific method of cooking these beans, because they need to be cooked correctly, otherwise they're going to make people sick. So just be careful on how you prepare your whole starches. They need to be cooked they have a long preparation time. And it's okay to eat white rice. It's okay to eat white bread. I prefer it'd be sourdough or something like that, but these foods are okay to eat. But you first need to convince, if you're someone who was on the specific carbohydrate diet or one of these low carb diets, you might have like a little mental work to do, but it's really not much. You just got to go, look, I'm tired of this crap. I'm going to eat what I want to eat. I can eat this. All my friends are eating it. I can eat these things. Starches are okay. And now a big reason why people feel a lot better when they go on these low carb diets is because they have air quotes infection. Now these these bacteria and fungi, they're not trying to kill you. They're trying to remove the extra gut cells you don't need anymore. They're the microsurgeons of the body. Now, when you experience a stressful situation, a stressful event that gets registered as an indigestible morsel conflict, it's going to register on your colon or your small intestine, maybe even your stomach, and the way it responds, the way your body responds to help you resolve this conflict is with cell proliferation on these organs. And then when you resolve the conflict, it no longer needs these cells, and it responds with cell loss. So we're getting rid of these extra cells. And the body does this with bacteria and fungi. And the more sugar you have in your system, the more active they will be. So going on a low starch diet, a low sugar diet will relieve your symptoms because they are doing less work. All right, now the fourth one starts with a C. Candy. Again, I mean, it's just, candy is just there. There's no nutrients in it. I mean, if you have a sweet tooth, you're much better off trying to find like a high quality dessert. You have a bunch of classy French desserts like tiramisu, not tiramisu, what's it called? The one that's the cream and the jelly cream. I don't know what it's called, but then they put like the fruit syrup over the top of it. Super good. You're much better off eating one of those things than you are candy, in my opinion. Again, you shouldn't be eating these desserts for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but the majority of people eat these things on a weekly basis, and they have zero digestive issues. It's the food is not causing your digestive issues. It is the significant biological special program that's causing your digestive issues. I want to make that clear. Food does not cause gut disease. It's the stressful event that catches you off guard that turns on these significant biological special programs. And what keeps on these programs are tracks. If you believe candy is gonna kill you, and then that gets established as a food track and reruns your symptoms and keeps you stuck in the healing phase. Candy will keep you. But it's not candy. It's your perception of the candy. It's the perception of these foods. There are some people who eat garbage, the so-called garbage, every single day, and they never have digestive issues. They might not have the best health, but they never have digestive issues. And it's because they never had one of these programs open up on one of these organs. So, and then the fifth one is pasteurized dairy. Now, on my channel, you'll see that I'm a big fan of raw dairy, and I do believe that you should consume raw dairy when you have the opportunity. But I know a lot of you, you have to go way out of your way to get a hold of this because of our genocidal governments, and it's not fair. But pasteurized dairy is okay. It is still, even when it's pasteurized, which is really stupid to do, it is still very easy to digest. It is easier to digest than the vast majority of foods. And the reason why most people have issues with dairy, I remember from a very young age, in elementary school, my parents telling me that, mentioning dairy intolerance and stuff like this and stuff, about that. So from a very young age, we're brainwashed to believe that the most nourishing, easy to digest food isn't good for us, and then that creates a food track. And now we believe this food isn't good for us, and then every time we eat it, it hits the track, and we get the symptoms. Pasteurized dairy is okay, and I know it's my fault for bashing on pasteurized dairy. Again, it's stupid. It's stupid that raw dairy is hard to come by. It is really dumb because our governments are stupid nowadays. But pasteurized dairy is still one of the most nourishing foods you can eat and easy to digest foods you eat, even when it's pasteurized. Again, I would aim for as organic as possible, or high quality as possible, from cows that haven't been injected with hormones and all that stuff. But pasteurized dairy is okay to eat. It is okay to eat. You just need to make sure that if you are reacting to a certain food, it's because it's a track. For some reason, you believe that it's not safe. And you just need to convince your subconscious that it's safe. I like to do this by writing down 5 reasons why I think this is safe. In a lot of cultures, before you eat a meal, it's customary to say grace, to be thankful for these foods, and say a little prayer. And it really changes your whole attitude on how you view, because right now we do the exact opposite. Right now, right before we're about to eat something, we're going to say to ourselves, into our head, oh my God, this is poison, and I shouldn't be eating this, but I have to. And then afterwards, you're giving yourself a guilt trip, and your subconscious is going crazy, and it's going to act, and it's going to, they're going to get registered as food tracks, which activate these special biological programs. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about when I'm talking about these special biological programs, these are German New Medicine terms. And what you need to do is click on the little icon up here, and it's going to bring up German New Medicine videos that you need to watch. When my students and myself started doing German New Medicine, all of our food intolerances disappeared overnight. It is the easy and the fast way to heal your gut. It's the only way to heal your gut because it goes over the root cause. So click on those videos, and that is it, guys. If you want step-by-step instructions on how to heal your gut from beginning to end, join our Rapid Gut Healing Program. Right now it is $497, but the price will go up to $1,000 when we hit a certain student quota. Once we have a certain number of students in our group, and we do this because we want to make sure our coaches have enough time to answer everyone's questions. So this program comes with course videos. It comes with a workbook that has cheat sheets. It has we have coaching inside a Facebook group. We have twice a week live Q&As where you can come on. We answer all your questions, and there's a refund guarantee. If you don't get the results you want, we'll give you your money back if you use the program. So I've seen so many people come in. I've seen people come in on their deathbed. I've seen people who have come in who have tried everything else, and they use our information and they get better. It's really easy to heal your gut if you understand the root cause. It's impossible to if you don't understand the root cause. So we're going to show you these things, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. But yeah, guys, you don't have to suffer on boring, bland diets. You can go out and have a piece of cake on your birthday, but you really need to look at how you view that food, because most of us have a phobia of just about every single food. And it's going to run these tracks, which are responsible for our symptoms and keep us. And when you encounter a track, it's it's like sticking your finger and ripping open the wound and starting all over again. Not completely over again, but sticking your finger in the wound ain't going to help. And a lot of you, when you encounter these tracks, you're doing it multiple times a day. So that's all I have for you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.